Do you ever wonder how Art Attack created its big art attacks? I did, so a few years back I spoke to Neil Buchanan about it. You'll remember Neil Buchanan, right? He's the guy who presented the show back in the 90s. He told me the whole story of Art Attack, including how it was made, how it was pitched, and also how he created those big art attacks that were often the central pieces of every episode. One of the biggest issues he had to battle with was shadows. Neil said that whenever he was picking a place to do one of these big art attacks, he had to make sure it was nowhere near any tall buildings, trees, or street lamps. If it was near any of those things, odds are it would be ruined halfway through. Neil said another thing he had to worry about was weather. He said that sometimes you get halfway through a really cool big art attack that was done outdoors, it would suddenly get really windy and then the whole thing would just blow away. Eventually his team had to go around pinning things down with metal pegs to make sure they didn't blow away halfway through. One of the most memorable big art attacks he ever did was of the Queen, made from £250,000. It was real banknotes too, and the Bank of England lent it in. They even charged him interest. It cost him about £60 just to borrow the money. There were rules too. Only Neil and the cameraman could be in the studio while the big art attack was being made, and full security had to be on hand throughout. For extra safety, they made it during the middle of the night, starting at midnight. And if you're ever wondering what a £250,000 looks like, it's not really that much. According to Neil, it's not bags of money, it's just 2 suitcases full of cash. It was also boiling in the studio while they were making it, because again, they had to turn the aircon off, because if they didn't, the notes would just blow away. For all those aerial shots and intricate moments of Neil putting the banknotes together, just know that there's a Bank of England security guard stood just off camera at all times. Afterwards, they had to make sure every banknote was accounted for, obviously, and Neil even joked with them, putting a tenner in his back pocket just to see what they'd do. In the morning, when the studio caretaker arrived, they turned the aircon on and the whole thing immediately blew away.